In this episode, we're talking about customers' rides. In particular, and give us some time here, we're talking about the Landrover. All the doors. This is the Landrover Defender 110. Now, I know most of you out there are used to me crashing the tractor or talking about 79 series, but there is something special about a Landrover. Now, I know most of you are laughing now, but hear me out and hear the story out. Now, Landrover is probably one of the biggest pioneers in Australian history. They're probably some of the first vehicles to travel some of the most iconic and toughest tracks that we've actually ever seen. Geez, the Leyland brothers started out with them and many others. I know that the Arkaroola, all around that area, was founded by the Landrover. And a lot of people all over the world have the Landrover. Why have we got it? Because we're doing an automatic conversion on it. This is a 110, which is actually, it's wheelbase. You can also get the Landrover Defender 90, which is actually a short wheelbase. Now, these are later ones. We've had a few of them where customers have asked us to do an automatic conversion on. Now, believe it or not, out of all the conversions that we do here in Australia and all over the world, the 79 series only just pips the Landrover when it comes to how many of these units are actually converted. If I was to turn around and give you the top 4 or 5 conversions that I know of in Australia, I think the 79 series is probably one of the highest manual to automatic conversions. Then it would actually be the Defender. Not so much here in Australia, but in Europe, these Defenders are so popular. You go over there, you barely see a Land Cruiser. Everything over there is, Range Rover, Defender and everything. So, and I know this because we actually help prepare the computers for all these different conversions. So it's very, very popular. Now the next one, believe it or not, is probably the LS conversion into the GUs, probably followed by the Cummins, all right? So they're probably in my top 4 conversions that are worldwide what get done. Now I'm leaving out America because America actually has a lot of Jeep stuff and everything like that, and I'm sure they do a lot of TDI conversions and all that type of stuff. But the ones that I know of, which are basically the European and the Australian models and that, is 79 series, Landrover following very closely with how many conversions are done a year. And then you get into your GU, tend to be more your LS and then your Cummins conversions. Now, this is not one of our kits, all right? This is actually a kit developed by Ashcroft Transmissions in the UK. And we're not one to turn around and copy someone else's work. So they're the masters of it. They do about 150 of these conversions every year in these kits. So we bought one of them over. I've already known him. I dealt with Dave a long time, so we've had the opportunity to fit one into this customer's car. So first of all, we're going to go through the car, see what it looks like on the inside. We're going to get it up in the air. We're going to take it for a road test. We'll have a bit of a chat, and at the end, I've got a couple of questions for you. So the interior. Now, the parts that come with this, first of all, obviously, this is a T-bar arrangement. Now, this T-bar is actually an American-made unit that Ashcroft put in there. They actually make all the surround and everything else that goes with it. It comes with all the brake pedals and that. It actually looks like it belongs. If you were to open this door, you would swear that it was actually a complete factory fit. From the customer's point of view, they've obviously got UHF, they've got a CB in here, they've got these beautiful and very comfortable Recaro seats. Obviously I know because I run a set myself. So it's incredibly comfortable to sit in. Quiet, it's actually pretty good. I was actually expecting something to be a lot more flimsy and rattly. When you think of Landrover, you tend to think of the old-timey days and everything. That's not the case with this one. This actually got a pretty good door thing. When you open and shut the doors, they're fairly solid. There's a couple of little wind noises that you hear, but it's got lots of windows around, lots of headroom in it. It is a fairly compact, they're a very skinny vehicle. But yeah, the finish on it is absolutely impeccable. Big pedal and all that. We've got the big display. This is obviously the display, the same CompuShift display that we use in all of our conversions now. So it tells you what gear you're in, your transmission temperature, how much throttle you're using and all that. Any codes that it might have as part of this conversion. Like I said, this is a Puma engine, so it's a more modern take on the Landrover engines. And even though they no longer build these models in the UK anymore, they are so popular still. People are still doing so many conversions to these things. And no doubt why. They're such a popular vehicle. So that's it for the inside. I'm going to take you through a couple of things. Now, when we got this kit, we laid it all out. One of the biggest things we obviously noticed that the transmission it's a remanufactured ZF 4-speed overdrive automatic transmission with lock-up torque converter. You can see that they've obviously made their own bell housing, specially made to fit the Puma motor. They had a rear adapter as part of it. It comes with all the shifter, all the linkages, every nut and bolt, all the pedal, the cooler, all the hoses. It comes with pretty well everything that you're going to need. The CompuShift computer, and the CompuShift's obviously the later one. It's waterproof, dustproof. You can actually make adjustments via an app on your phone. So it's the perfect setup, it really is. And it's a tried and tested kit. First time for us to fit this kit, but they've fitted hundreds and hundreds of these over in Europe and that. So it is a complete kit, and let's get it up in the air and have a good look at what's underneath. Look at that, hey? Look at that. Well, that's pretty good. She's gone through a few road tests now. Not a single oil leak. That's actually really good. Not even a drop, nothing. That's perfect. I love it. Obviously, this is the original transfer case, and obviously it's the same handbrake, all the tail shafts, everything is actually exactly the same. Even the cross member is exactly the same, although there was one little bracket that had to be taken off. All the mounts original, although this one has had a new plate made to suit the new rear extension housing that goes between the transmission and the transfer case. As we said before, there's a bell housing here that's obviously been made, so they have a custom made bell housing. They've made all their own lines and everything to fit straight in. We can't actually see the radiator, but the radiator is actually quite different in much as that there is so much room between the back of the radiator and the fan. There's literally like, geez, what, 350 mil? So there's plenty of room. So they've actually stuck a stonking great transmission cooler behind the radiator, but in front of the fan. Actually goes in really well. It's a beautiful fit. Like, there's just tons of room everywhere. There's no problems there. The wiring, they've got earth straps on. There was no welding required for any of the chassis components, nothing at all. Everything just bolted straight in. So all the linkages, everything are all bang on. They've all got plenty of clearance. Underneath the vehicle, well, that's just obviously customer's got a stainless steel exhaust on it that he's put on, and got his off-road suspension, his off-road tyres. These are all terrains. Other than that, basically your average Landy. I think a picture tells 1,000 words when it comes to these conversions, and our customers' cars. They love them so much that they'll go through the expense of making all these modifications, whether they're suspension, wheel upgrades, transmission, or even engine conversions. So it doesn't matter what make and model we've got. We're used to seeing all the Land Cruisers and the Nissan Patrols here in Australia, because they're the prime ones that we tend to do all of our conversions on. But it's pretty good that we got a Land Rover on, be able to see what was actually sitting on the other side of the fence. So let's get it down. Let's see what she's like out in the road. All right, let's give this a try, and off we go. Obviously, first impression is it's very smooth, very easy to take off. You're not having to do anything. You can virtually drive one hand, it's so easy. I love the little steering wheel that he's got on in here. Left hand indicator, of course. Just got to get used to it. Got a lot of torque, these little engines, I've got to tell you. Now, we did notice when we first got this kit that it actually didn't have the CompuShift dash display. And that's because the laws are slightly different in the UK as what they are here. for engineering purposes, we need to be able to show the driver what gear they're in. So we obviously put the display in. Not only that, it tells you what your temperature is, and you know, when your lockup's on or off. It just gives you so many options to turn around and actually see what it is, and I love them. So we made sure that we added one in, and just to give that perfect finish. Now while we're parked here, obviously some of the finish on this vehicle, I do love it. The way that they actually built this kit was very much in thought that it was meant to be repetitive, which means they've done so many of these over the years. They've fine-tuned the install so much that it's one of those ones, they know they're going to put it in and they know it's going to work straight away. The car itself is quite a compact little car. I'm a bit of a big lad and I'm up against the pillar, and one of the dislikes I would say about this car was that when I look right, I'm looking right at this pillar here. I'm not used to the door being such a short door, but the car drives great. The dash is good. It's actually a very quiet car. It's all lined on the inside. They already come with the above windscreen storage across the front here, and I like it. He's actually got his voltmeter here. He's got his USB chargers. The auto's just driving impeccable, like really, really good. Just got to get used to this left-hand indicator stuff. Jeez. Off we go. It's quite a sprightly little thing. It goes really well when you put the foot in. The auto handles it really well. We've got a couple more little tweaky tunes to do on it, but other than that, because this car has actually got fairly, you know, big tyres on it, but very smooth. I love it. I'll tell you what, it actually modernises the vehicle so much by putting the auto in. Big difference. Look at that. Full throttle and she's gone. She's out of here. Got to make sure I don't go over the speed limit. Craig, the cameraman, would love to video me getting a speeding ticket. I can tell you that right now. Now, if you would like to see us do more of these Customers Ride episodes, let us know in the comments below. Let me know the type of things that you would like to see us trying to, you know, show you. Is it Customers Rides? If so, what type of vehicles? What are you after? You know, what would you like to see us do and do differently? Doing a Customers Ride video is a little bit different from doing a normal vlog, obviously, because we're trying to concentrate on the experience of the customer's car, their vehicle, some of the modifications that they've done, and obviously in this case, we've got the automatic conversion as well. So in the comments below, tell us what you would prefer that we did. If you have any questions, like any Q&As, if there's anything you would like to know about Wholesale Automatics or myself, right, ask away. I would love to turn around, and maybe when we do these Customers Rides, it's a perfect time to turn around and answer some of those Q&As. So if you got any questions, also jump in on the comments below and let us know. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and get the bell on. Until then, I'll see you next time.